burning. All right. Okay. So series circuits of resistors. In series circuits, electrical components are connected side by side. Also, they can be connected one after another in a loop, all right, or end to end, like a chain, so to say. Circuit rules. There are certain rules we need to observe while taking into consideration series circuits of resistors. And one of such rules is an electric current will pass through every component on its way around this circuit. This means if one of the bulbs or one of the resistors is broken, then current will stop flowing. Current will not be able to flow around the circuit. That is in a situation where one of the bulbs goes out, all the circuits will go out. That's what it means. Very simple. Now, but there are things we need to understand here. In currents flowing around the circuit, especially when the circuit is a series arrangement of components, what happens is that the currents in that loop form one current, right? Then ammeter will measure all that. Okay. In our topic today, we will look at all right. Series circuits of resistors. In series circuits, electrical components, look at this, electrical components are connected side by side. Also, they can be connected one after another in a single loop or end to end like a chain. All right? Take note of what I've just said. They can be connected side by side. That's number one. Also, they can be connected one after another in a single loop. Just look at my demonstration. Loop. Or end to end like a chain. All right. We have started. I urge you to subscribe to this channel. My returning subscribers, I urge you to subscribe to this channel. Give us some thumbs up. Share with your friends, with your students, with your networks. Alright? Turn on the bell button for post notification each time a content like this is uploaded. My returning subscribers, I am so proud of you people. Thank you so much. So let's continue. Security rules. An electric current will pass through every component connected in this series arrangement on its way around the circuit. That's one thing we must understand here. If one of the bulbs or one of the resistors is broken, is cut, right? What happens? Current flowing will stop. That's what happens. Current flowing around the circuit will just stop because there is a cut, there is a gap. If one bulb, what it means is this: if one bulb goes out completely, the entire circuit, look at it, if one bulb goes out, the entire circuit will go out. That's what it means. Very simple. All right? Current in series. A series circuit is one loop all electrons in that loop form one current. That's one thing. A series circuit is one loop. It goes and form that loop. So all electrons in that loop form one current. That's what the first point is all about. Look at it at this point. Then an ammeter will measure the same current flowing from one bulb or one resistor to another that is placed in that circuit. An ammeter will measure it. An ammeter will measure it and get the value. Then another thing is that this is when current I is measured in amps A. Now we're going to see illustrations in our next slide. Very, very important here. Very, very important. We're going to see illustration in our next slide. Okay? So let's see how it goes. That's the arrangement. Very simple. Current in series. Look at this. Current flows from 1, enters into lamps 1, lamp 2 combined via the wire 3 back to the source. That's what this diagram is all about. How two lamps are connected. All right? How two lamps are connected. Excuse me, just a minute. Let me take care of something. All right, I'm back. Okay, sorry for that brief interruption. All right, so let's see. It goes that way, and with this method, we'll be able to find out what happens, just like we said in our first slide, that once one of the bulbs is broken or is cut out, what happens? Currents stop flowing here. That's what happens. All right? Current stops flowing. Then what this means is that in series circuits, as one loop, as we have already discussed, current 1 flowing through this wire entering lamp 1 or lamp 2 is the same thing as the current entering lamp 1 and 2, is also the same thing as the current leaving 1 lamp and 2 as current 3, and then back to the source. So that's what this illustration is all about. This illustration or this expression simply means the current 1 is equal to current 2, current flowing all through the same. And this is when current is measured in amps A. Then potential difference across this, right? Potential difference across this, very simple. The current will transfer energy from the power supply. This is the power supply, okay? Energy is being transferred from the power supply here to the what? Components, through the conducting wires, right? To the components in the circuit. Since energy has to be conserved, watch this statement. Since energy has to be conserved, all right, all of the source energy is shared between the components. We will understand what conservation of energy is all about. Neither destroyed nor can be created, and so on and so forth. All right, but we will get back to that later on. So since potential difference is used to measure the changes in energy, the potential difference supplied is equal to the total of the potential difference across all other components. That's what it means, and this gives us Vt is equals to V1 plus V2. So if we want to know the total potential difference here across lamp 1, lamp 2, if I can use L1, all right, to represent lamp 1, then I can use L2 to represent lamp 2. and that makes it very clear to us. Very good. So the potential difference across lamp 1 plus the potential difference across lamp 2 will sum up to give the total potential energy or potential difference supplied to the circuits. When potential difference is measured in volts, we must take note of that. All right, potential difference, voltage, I mentioned again, potential difference, voltage, both are measured in volts, V. So take note, very, very important. All right, so with that, let's see what we have next, because this is very, very important. The next thing we now consider arrangement of resistance in series. Very, very important. But before we continue, let me once again remind us, if you have really found value in this content, in what I am doing, why don't you subscribe? Come on. It doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe. Give us some thumbs up. Share with your friends, with your networks. Share with your networks, with your students, with your colleagues, with anyone that likes things like this. All right? All right. Let's do it this way. That topic, that science topic, that physics topic, that chemistry topic, that mathematics topic that you are finding difficult, that is giving you a hard time, drop it. In the comment section, you will have me solve it for you. I will solve it for you and then present it as one of the contents for your learning pleasure. Thank you. All right, so this is it. So when we have this, let's just quickly analyze this. Here we have the energy source, and this is battery of 6 volts. Look at my illustration. This symbol represents battery, and the value of the battery is 6 volts. All right? Okay. Now across the terminals of the battery is a voltmeter, okay? It's a voltmeter that will measure the amount of a potential difference across the terminals of the battery. That is Vx, and we call this V1, right? We call it Vx expression 1. Here we have another component, very, very important. This component is referred to as the switch or key, right? Switch or key. The function of this component is to turn on the circuits or turn off the circuits. If it is in use, the component is turned on here. The switch is turned on, making contact with this, okay? But if it is not in use, the circuits will remain this way. The switch will be open this way as it is. That's the function of this key or switch. All right, down here we have a resistor of 100 ohms. A resistor whose value is 100 ohms. All right, so with this resistor in place, we can also measure the potential difference across the two ends of the resistor, and we call it V1. The same thing applies to this one. These two resistors are connected in series. Look at it, end to end. This end to this end. So end to end. The two resistors offering resistances of 100 ohms respectively are connected end to end. That is what it means. I repeat, that is what it means to have two resistors in series. Very good. And with that, we have V1 measuring the potential difference across resistor 1, and then we have V2 measuring the potential difference across resistor 2. All right, so we have how many potential differences now? We have about 3, 1, 2, and 3. That is it. So the key fact here, we must remember that resistance R is also measured. It's measured in ohms. So the SI unit of resistance, whenever you see it or wherever it is stated, you must remember that the SI unit of resistance is ohms. Very good. Now the key takeaway here is that in series arrangement of resistors, be it 2 resistors, 3 resistors, 4 resistors, current flowing, look at it, current flowing in such an arrangement is always the same. That's point 1 that we must take note of. Current flowing in a series arrangement of resistors is always the same. I have said this repeatedly. Even in my previous video, I said the same thing, so take note. The second point here is that the total potential difference, the power supply, look at it here. The total potential difference, which is this power supply, is shared between the components. All right? Is shared between the what? Components. That's what it means. So what does it mean? Since current is the same, potential difference is not the same because it's shared, right? Good. Another one is that's the point, second point. The third point here is that the total resistance of the circuit is the sum of the individual resistors or resistances. I repeat, the total resistance of the circuit is the sum of the individual resistance or resistances offered by the resistors. So if this is R1, let me illustrate it. If this is R1, all right, R1, this is R1, and this is R2. Let's look at it critically. This is R2. So for us to find the total resistance is exactly what we have here. Okay, the total resistance RT is given as the sum of R1 and the what? R2. Very simple. Very, very simple. All right, so that is it. We have explained, we have analyzed what this is all about for our learning pleasure. So I know any question that will come from this angle will be simplified, will be solved with ease. All right, we have come to the end of this class. Yes, but before I leave you, I want to say thank you so much for watching, but please don't forget to subscribe. My returning subscribers, I am banking on you. I am hoping on your subscriptions on daily basis. Also, my new subscribers, you are welcome. I want you to know that this is my own platform. I use this to teach physics, different topics in physics. Different topics in physics. So I urge you, drop that topic that you want me to treat. Any topic in physics, any topic in mathematics, any topic in chemistry that you want me to teach, please drop it in the comment section, right? I will do it free of charge, right? And at the same time, just do me a favor, give me some thumbs up, then subscribe, share with your students, share with your colleagues, share with your numerous networks, friends, and the rest of them. Remember, some likes, come on. Thank you, and then see you in my next video where I will be solving problems involving resistors connected in series, maybe 2 resistors, 3 resistors, 4 resistors, as the case may be. See you in my next video. Thank you so much. Yes, learning is good.